running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm flooded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
What is up, you beautiful, beautiful bastards? Welcome back to Knock TV. I'm your boy Knock, and we got some shit to talk about today. You know, I've been, since that first stream when I got back to streaming, I took my, 2-year hiatus. I streamed a little bit, but essentially I took about 2 years, maybe even longer than 2 years off of this YouTube thing. Really soul searching, lots of meditation. Finding myself in the path that I'm walking in this life. Finding Taoism again. Finding Buddhism again. Becoming at peace with the fact that I am an atheist, right? I had this I don't know, conflict within my family and with my father especially, who convinced me that I needed to tone down my atheism and I needed to approach my Christian family with open-mindedness, and it was all a bunch of horse shit. But I really kind of just took time away, and then I came back, and the first stream back I got a copyright strike. Now, it was Jubilee, and Jubilee, I am finding out, have just turned into complete and utter assholes. But still, I'm nervous. So I AI'd the shit. I should be good to show this. Now, goddamn it, if I get a copy strike, I'm gonna be so mad at AI. I might be pausing a lot. I might be pausing a lot more than usual. But what's going on, y'all? What's up, Sandals 2000, Robin Webster? Yeah, so while I was away, last few months, about 4 months ago, out of nowhere, pops this weird-ass fucking name that's really hard to pronounce. And yeah, like, the first connotation, like, everybody gets, like, a different connotation the first time they hear this name. Like, for me, I don't even know what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe a sexual body part, like clavicular, right? Like, what the fuck is clavicular? To this day, I don't think anybody knows what clavicular is. Maybe they do. I didn't Google it, but I don't know. But about 4 months ago, this motherfucker, this young, arrogant, good-looking dude shows up on the scene. And I guess maybe, I don't know, I don't think he invented it, but he seems to be the spokesperson for it. This thing called looks maxing. Now, I'm not sure if that comes from Groypers, but I know like clavicular came from the Groypers. Like, he used to be a Groyper, still is a Groyper. You might only know him if you, or if you're not remembering the name, this might pop up a memory of it. He was recently at a nightclub with Andrew Tate and, a bunch of these manosphere fake ass dudes, and I think Sneeko was there, and they were doing the Zeke Hail to the Kanye West song in the club. You know, it kind of made national news, right? Like, so this asshole, he promotes looks maxing. And, you know, I'm not going to get into it too much because John Bravo is going to do a hell of a job of exposing him. Now, I don't know where I sit on John Bravo yet. This dude starts popping up in my feeds. I've never heard of the guy. I check out his channel. He's a comedian, a journalist, and he seems to promote, like, bodybuilding, you know, like men's health. So I'm like, okay. There's a particular term he's going to use throughout this that I'm not sure where I sit with it. You know, like, I know what it means, and I don't know. Like, I'm uncomfortable with it, you know. But I'm gonna still show this because he does seem to do some really good work. Now, you might have I can't pronounce this dude, like King Azule or some shit like that. He's the guy that exposed him for I believe like the predatory behavior. Like, he seems to do this a lot, and people, I guess, seem to I mean, he seems legitimate, right? So he's been like exposing these Israeli mobsters, and Clavicular seems to have come into his crosshairs, right? So I think I'm going to be okay to show this. I've seen other people do it. I AI'd the shit. So, all right. So if looks maxing, and in the thumbnail, I put mogged in my own thumbnail. So looks maxing is maximize your looks to get women. So he starts to, like, Clavicular comes on the scene like 4 months ago with this whole like men's health thing, like, you know, talking to pretty much incels, maximize your looks so you can get women and live a happier life, right? He's one of those. And to maximize your looks, he does some really crazy shit, right? Like taking a hammer to his face and just kind of like getting little hairline fractures in his shits, you know, for some fucking reason. I don't know why. like wait for you know, puberty to finish and see how you look, bro, because he probably would have looked the same. And it's kind of sad because if you see before and after pictures of him, it is really sad because he is this like pimply, dorky looking kid. Probably nobody, you know, he seemed awkward, and it still seems very awkward. And to deal with that awkwardness, another thing he promotes is taking crystal meth. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's okay. Somehow, unfortunately, I became aware of all this shit. Right? I think I saw like Taylor. I can't remember her name, the liberal journalist who's got her own YouTube page now, Taylor Lorenz. I think I'd seen a Taylor Lorenz thing on it. So I became aware of Clavicular, and I went down that rabbit hole. And it's not a pleasant rabbit hole. Now, I personally, don't mean to scream into my microphone, I personally think at one point in my life, I was maxed. Like, couldn't get better than me, you know. That was a long time ago. So, like, clearly in my thumbnail, the looks maxer mocked me out. So mogging is this thing that you do, and you know, like, Clavicular kind of gets clowned on because he often gets frame mogged. As I put in my thumbnail, frame mogged. So if you're in a frame and you got two dudes sitting side by side, and one dude is just like far superior, like in all the metrics, and they have metrics. I'm not fucking bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. It's, oh God, it's right. Like, so, like, do you guys remember when the right wing said that the left wing was somehow feminizing manhood, right? No, bro, you got that. You got that shit covered. You got that shit covered, right? So he often gets like fucked around with because he gets often frame mogged by one of his homeboys that's always with him, bigger, stronger, bigger jawbone, but he has to wear a wig. You know, I mean, I'm a bald dude growing my hair back out, and I ain't wearing no wig, yo. Yeah. So, you know, and he's just another one of these Andrew Tates, another long line of 2-bit hustlers. pretty much scamming young, insecure men trying to figure out their place in this fucked up world, and are they supposed to be or not supposed to be white supremacist and shit, important decisions to make. And then you have these fucktards come along and kind of nudge them in these crazy ass directions that usually leads to the Zig Heil in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that pipeline. Man, I'm popping. I still can't find my like microphone thing. I might end up like canoodling a thing. I gotta find my microphone cap. I gotta find it. I don't know if you'll hear the popping and if the playback will hear the popping. I hear the popping. All right, so what's going on, chat? I see big zebras in the chat. Kent Hovind CPA, Robin Webster. Welcome. So John Bravo, he does some good work. I've only watched a couple things, and there are some red flags. And he is a comedian. I'm not sure if this is a bit. I get Andrew Dice Clay vibes, and I think you'll get that too. It might be his natural persona, but he is a comedian, so this is probably his stage presence, his stage persona. But I do get red flags. But I'm gonna let him do his thing, because when it comes to Clavicular, I despise the breed of man. And I despise the fact that it seems like feminism lost. It lost to itself and it lost to men. And I despise that. It seems like toxic male behavior is more dominant than ever. And I'll talk about that. And it'll probably be my one criticism of John Bravo, even if it is, even if it is his stage persona, and even if it is me just being that hypersensitive left-wing fucking whatever you want to call me, I'm going to have to call it out, because I looked up what the word means and I'm not pleased with it, to say the least. I'm still like, do I do this? Do I not? And we're going to do it. Fuck it. All right. Meet John Bravo. Now, I think he purposefully does the Johnny Bravo hairdo, right? And you're going to see, like, I get Andrew Dice Clay vibes, right? I grew up with Andrew Dice Clay. I know, like, that was the beginning of cancel culture, and I was not a part of that, and I probably wouldn't be a part of that today. I'd enjoy me some Andrew Dice Clay. Is it derogatory towards women? Yes, it is. Do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. Should I enjoy it? I don't know. I don't enjoy the fact that we're not defeating toxic male culture, right? Like, I do feel like this, like, if you want to reach a male audience, this is how you have to talk. A large male audience. You know what I'm saying? And I think I am kind of like, manly man with the way I fucking speak, but I'm also like kind of hypersensitive to these things. And to what is being a man, some of the things I stand for is hypothetical, antithetical, whatever. So I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling and we'll get into it. This is about Clavicular, not John Bravo. His repeated use. In fact, I'm pretty sure he brands the word. Ooh. Okay, we'll get there. Let's roll. Let's have volume first, right?
How did this afford a $5 million club? He's been, streaming for 4 months. Yeah, he makes money on Kick. Yeah, he makes money on Stake. But still, how did he get a $5 million club, right? Well, I'm going to show you how. Because...
All right, just a second. So, Bond, you know about Bravo? All right, yeah, I'll show you. I'll throw a link. Let me find it. You gotta remember how to do all this shit. Right, there it is. Yeah, tell me who he is before I start playing it, so I know how to approach it. Let me get it over to the screen. Do. That's what I do in my car all day. Do. Gets fucking annoying. Where you at, Bond? Give me 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes, bro. Oh, Jill. What's up, Jill? I don't want you coming in here, Jill. Can't handle that tonight. We had a... Maybe I'll show... I had the cut from the open room the other night on my new channel. We can show that while we're waiting for Bond. Let me find it. Let me come back up here. Up here. Yeah, y'all really want to hear me doing not TV. We'll watch this real quick. Let me go. Oh, I can't see when he comes in. Let me know when you're backstage. We'll watch this while we wait for you. Let's go to full screen. This is just for you, Joe. Just for you. Just for you, Joe. This is the fresh cut. The last conversation. The last conversation. And if you're back there, Bond, hold up. I can't see you. Well, no, we have been putting in our input. Now you can go and just
Skylar
stop
Fiction
so we
makes
can
a rare
respond to some of
appearance.
the shit you're saying. You know?
Okay. All I'm saying is that you're worse than a prostitute. So don't bring up compassion to
Well, that's
prostitutes.
just name calling. This is what we're
You're
talking about. You're
worse.
just name calling. We're asking you
He
to
does
talk
not.
about the topic.
Jesus did not. He's still over talking. He can't shut up long enough, but then he's talking about.
Well,
he's
because
talking
you
about-
start,
he doesn't want to say.
because you intentionally start with the insult, and you know what you're doing, and that's the intention.
I insulted?
and he's exactly
Yes.
right. So make your argument. Tell me
Let me
why
remove the- I didn't
why
insult
am
you.
I
I didn't
wrong about
insult
the
you.
compassion of Jesus Christ, and you are
Again,
right? Why is Skylar
Jesus
wrong
did
about the
not have
compassion of
compassion
Jesus Christ?
for
Make the
everyone.
argument. Make the
So
argument.
your argument fails. Your moral argument
just-
fails, Skylar Fiction. Jesus did not have compassion on everyone. He said it's better that a millstone be tied around people like you, be tied
gonna set
around their
Jill off in the
necks,
side
and
chat
be
now.
thrown in the depths of the sea. That is not compassion. That is not compassionate. If those who harm children. Thank you. So give up the argument, please. It doesn't work.
Yeah, listen, what you're doing is you're quoting God, right? Saying how it's better, which is true what he's saying. It's better for someone to hurt themselves or end their own life than to hurt a child's life or ruin another child's life, right? I agree with that statement. But what you don't have there is the idea that he doesn't have compassion for all humans, right? People do way worse stuff than just like hurt children, right? But he still has compassion for humans, right? What you did was just create a false argument with no real connections. Go on.
Okay.
Real quick,
Any-
I want to see if Bond is back there, so he's not just waiting. Not yet, Bond. What the hell are you doing, bro? Where do I got it at? I got it there. Okay. Where you at, bro?
Response, Puffy.
Why are you
Skylar had
bringing?
none.
No, that was my spot. See now,
Yeah.
now that's
no response.
disingenuous. Don't try to run away. Now, don't try to run away.
I
You
didn't
just tried
run
to
away.
bring
You had
somebody.
no
You
response
did.
to what I just
No,
said.
I'm just.
Well,
we're going
yeah,
back
like
and
respond
forth.
to Skylar.
You brought up
and then-
other bad things that Jesus does not
Puff-
like.
Puff
He does not
can
have compassion
respond.
for those people as well. Great.
Wow.
So you're just agreeing with me that there are many things that Jesus does not have compassion on if you commit those crimes.
Oh no, not
if you
on.
commit crimes against children.
You switched.
You willfully, openly
You switched it.
make crimes against children. Jesus said it's better that you be thrown in the midst of the sea and you drown alive. That's the worst sort of punishment you could possibly get.
You switched
That's
it
not
from
compassion
people
at
to
all,
things.
buddy.
You switched it from people to the actions.
Why?
You see what you did there? You switched it from compassion on people to compassion on the action.
The people are committing the action. He said it's better that you be thrown in the sea.
Yeah,
he said
that's a factual statement. That's
around
true. You have to quiet down for me to respond.
Yeah, go ahead and try
this
to
is
explain yourself again.
Yeah.
Go ahead for the third time.
So the cuts that I made were over talking. I cut all the over talking out, or at least tried to get the really bad over talking out.
Oh yeah.
It's just a
once
short
again,
exchange.
You brought up a quote from God that didn't even bring up the word compassion in the quote, right? You're trying to say that God doesn't have compassion for all people, and then you go to a quote about advice about doing sin to others, which isn't even about compassion. It doesn't do about compassion. It's
about not showing compassion, idiot.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Crimes.
It doesn't use compassion.
Oh my
in that
God!
Word. No, it doesn't. It's not even him.
So, is there any reason why? All right, I see you, Bond, and we're getting to the to where I own Jill once again. Like I permanently own Jill. So I see you're not gonna be able to make it work as hectic. If you can, like, if there's like any reason why I shouldn't show a John Bravo. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to roll with it.
So you interrupted me.
I'm giving you an example of Jesus not showing compassion to a specific group. A specific group that does specific things. And he does not show compassion to them. I don't understand. Like, this is not. Are you following?
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Somebody's got to be following in the chat.
So he doesn't have compassion for people that do harm to children. Right? That's what you're saying?
Doesn't say that in the scripture, weirdly.
I don't know where you're getting that from.
He just said it's better that they kill themselves instead of hurting children. Doesn't say that he doesn't have compassion for them.
Yeah. It says they're probably not going to get into heaven, but I think, like, he had compassion for everybody, not just people that are going to get into heaven.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like saying God doesn't love all.
Is it a compassion? It's not showing compassion or not giving.
Does God love all people? Or
it's neutral. It's neutral, right?
No.
Shut up, liberal. Now you know why I coined the term "shut up, liberal" because people like you.
So are you saying that if a child rapist repents truly in his heart and accepts Jesus Christ into his heart, he can't be saved?
If he repents of that crime, yes.
So Jesus would have compassion on somebody that does harm to children?
If he repents, yes. Because God
now that is funny. Now that is funny. That's irony. Thank you.
Now, if
you just took his argument and wiped your butt with it. That's how good. You. And now he's all humbled now.
So today I sit before this camera and talking to this mic. My phone is my computer is jacked again. Let's go up here. Right there. Got too much shit open. I'm gonna close everything out. And I'm definitely gonna keep StreamYard closed. It didn't like me stopping that video or trying to get out of the big screen. All right, now I gotta pull everything back up. But that won't be a problem. So, rare appearance from Skylar Fiction. I'm still trying to adjust to the fact that Skylar Fiction is a Christian now, and I want to find out about his Christianity. I want to have some talks with Skylar. I want to find out because he says it's a highly science-based Christianity. And I'm sure that it's going to be fascinating. I've known Skylar for a while now. He was one of the first people I ever talked to live. When I had no idea who he was, and Cyrus the Skeptic brought him on to Kind of brought him on to. I lost my train of thought because I realized I got to get everything back up now. Sure, Skeptic brought him on to respond to the movie I was in. That the conversation, my second conversation with Matt Powell, the movie Science Falsely So Called, and so I showed up for that stream, and I met Skylar Fiction, and it was like one of the first people I ever talked to live. I was at that point, up to that point, I made videos and I had just talked live in person, face to face with Matt Powell. So let me get shit rolling again. Let me find my history. So yeah, that was just me doing what I have done to Jill for years now, and that is owning his soul. I have taken so much of this man's soul that I just feel like I can, if I wanted to go dark, I could summon Jill to scare children. That's how much of his soul I have taken over the years, and it's just feeds me, Seymour. Feeds me. All right, where in the fuck is the shit that I'm trying to find? Where in the fuck is the shit I'm trying to find? There it is.
Because his friend entered.
All right, John, hold up. Hold your roll, John. I need to open up my studio still. I gotta open up the stream so I can see your guys' side chat, all that stuff, and then we're going to get rolling. I had to close everything out. Yeah, we're definitely going to leave StreamYard off. We'll only have that on if I really wanted to have like some conversations. I wanted to test having it on if I just do one of these streams in case like some rando shows up in the side chat and talking shit and wants to come in, then I can let them, but maybe that's not a good idea. Not a good idea. I had a lot of shit open. All right, so what am I doing? I need to bring that over here. We're going to have to mute it probably. Chat. Yeah, there we go. Make sure it's live. And then I need my studio, and we're good, and we can roll with this shit. So I'm assuming there's no like big red flags with John Bravo outside of the ones that I'm going to get to. He does seem to do solid work, so like whatever you're going to think about the man, he's done some shit in his life. He has exposed some bad people, and I don't think you can really take away from that. I don't know who the people like they were talking about in the side chat are. Like I said, like this dude just started popping up on my live feeds or on my algorithm maybe a couple weeks ago, and he's been making videos a lot longer than that, so I'm not sure. Like the algorithm seems really weird to me. Like I get strange stuff, but I go into right-wing spaces, right? Like all the fucking time. So I don't know. I get these like really fucking weird videos sometimes. So and I don't know if I can trust them. And then again, I also have my paranoia about getting that copyright strike watching that Jubilee debate. I don't know what the fuck I can watch and what I can't watch. And if you don't know what you can watch and what you can't watch, that seems like, I don't know, an unfair situation. You know, it seems like that's not the way to run I don't know, your platform. All right, so manage videos is where I need to go, and then live, and then, all right, I got to just remember how to do all this shit because it's been so long. There it is, the control room. All right, we are back. Okay, now, I like the personality. I just don't like this word, right? And I try not to be like a hypersensitive liberal cuck, you know. Like I will complain about a thing, but I will not watch a thing or appreciate a thing because of the thing I'm complaining about, right? Like for instance, and I've talked about this a lot. You know, I'm very lucky that Stephen King, my idol, the person I love most in life, you know, has a moderated version of my politics, but they're my politics, right? Like he's not some like right-wing douchebag, and then I never had to come to terms with that in my life, right? But there has been people I've had to come to terms with, and one person that I, you know, insisted upon reading even after she proved to be a horrible fucking person was J.K. Rowling. She's the one person now that I don't read, just because she has just continued to be just more and more fucking horrible. But outside of that, I read everybody. You know, I'm not going to let Brandon Sanderson being a Mormon stop me from reading Brandon Sanderson, or the fact that Orson Scott Card is a horrible fucking racist. He still writes really good fucking stories, and I can appreciate his fucking stories. And I've met him twice in real life, and he's as horrible and as you might expect him to be. Like, literally, like, he was served by a black waitress in the restaurant I worked at, and he was a fucking racist. He insisted on a white server, and the management bent to his demands. He's a horrible fucking person. Horrible fucking person. But I'd still read his fucking books. All that being said, I don't know anything about him. He might be like the most liberal left-wing dude, and this is all kind of like a persona. But I like the representation of masculinity that we're about to watch. And I swear to God, this dude has like the most dead set fucking eyeballs. I mean, like killer eyeballs. Like, I don't know, like poker eyeballs. I don't know. Like, if you're at a poker table with this dude and he's staring at you like he's about to stare at you, I think you fold. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got the best hand, you're probably going to fold. He's just got that stare like don't look at me, dude. Like, stop looking at me. All right, here we go. Let me pull it up. John Bravo exposes Clavicular, who is a fucking, without a doubt, a terrible human being, who's probably a plant by our government, or at least Peter Thiel. But we'll mention Peter Thiel at the end because John Bravo isn't gonna mention him here. So let's share our screen. Let's meet John Bravo.
Like, how did this afford a $5 million club? He's been, streaming for 4 months. Yeah, he makes money on Kick. Yeah, he makes money on Stake. But still, how did he get a $5 million club, right? Well, I'm going to show you how.
My screen is jacked up. I'm like, what is wrong with my screen? Let me fix my screen. It's probably because I clicked to the YouTube or to the StreamYard. And I got to figure out why it does that. So now I've got to adjust everything. I just realized that. Like, why aren't y'all seeing John? Like, really seeing John. Now let me fix it. Here we go. That's better. Above my tree, John. Above my tree. All right. So, yeah, I get the Andrew Dice Clay vibes, if I can speak today.
Because his friend, Energetic, was live streaming and in Clav's house. Clav walks in the door and he says, cut the camera, shut the camera off, because he didn't want people to see who he was meeting with.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we called him Clav Epstein, and he's going to talk about Jack Epstein in this video. When he talks about Jack Epstein, and I'll reiterate this when we get there, he's talking about Jack Doherty, right? And if you don't know who Jack Doherty is, consider yourself a very lucky person, because I unfortunately do.
Yeah, he is a fool. Look at this asshole, running around town like he owns the place, even though he's been telling everybody he does. And look, he even found his own Peggy lookalike, with the white outfit and even the lifted chucks. Except this asshole, he's got an afro. Who is this loser?
I'll just keep loving you.
He's saying he owns this club, and it's the grand opening. But is it the truth? Or is he getting down on his knees for the real owner?
And that's not even the thing that bothers me. And that's just that persona. And I do have to comment, like, the dude makes high quality fucking videos. Like, he puts a lot of money into this shit, and it's really high quality. I don't know. He's probably got a team of editors. It's really done. He stays in character if it is indeed a character. I don't think I've ever seen him break character in the videos I've watched. And I've watched quite a few of his videos now. He does his own commercials for his sponsors, like, not like just, oh, here, let me take a minute and tell you about this sponsor. Like, he does actual films, commercials. It's pretty good. You know, I'm impressed with him as an individual, but we're going to get to the terminology that, you know, clenches my left-wing libtard butt cheeks, you know.
You guys know Clav, right? That Jerry curl-looking asshole who, his real name is Braden Peters, which I think It's a much better name for him because Braden, that sounds like the pussy that he is. Well, when I show you what he learned from Jack Epstein, that other...
Jack Epstein. So this is Jack Doherty. All right, and if you're not familiar with Jack Doherty, Jack Doherty got famous for being an asshole, right? Like, he literally got famous for being a dick. He would go into, like, a Walmart, sneak into the back, and shut all the power down, right? Excuse me. So the entire store just goes completely fucking black, and nobody fucking knows why. And he would be filming it all for his YouTube channel, and he got famous doing shit like that. Well, you fast forward and he grows up, because he was like a fucking smarmy little fucking 11-year-old kid, right? He grows up a little bit, gets some pubes, you know, his balls drop, and he starts an OnlyFans agency that was pretty much just this manipulation and swindle, where he's pretty much taking 80% of these women's money and giving them like 20%. It's just it's very manipulative. He was caught for it, and that's going to be like pretty much the foundation of what John Bravo's laying down here. So he calls him Jack Epstein, right? And maybe there is Epstein connections. I'm not sure. I think he's just pretty much saying, you know, sexual predator, but maybe there is an Epstein connection and I don't know it.
Piece of shit. You're going to start calling him.
And there's definitely an Israeli connection, and we're going to get there.
Clav Epstein, because he's becoming a bigger pimp and piece of shit than Jack himself. Remember when he first came on the scene, he was here to help boys, young boys, become better themselves, be better looking in order to pick up women, right? Well, in a deleted stream, he revealed his true intentions and how he's willing to lie, to cheat, do unethical things, even maybe get down on his knees in order to get what he wants. And it turns out he's been trying to hide from the public what he's been really doing behind the scenes in order to make all that money. He doesn't want anybody to know. But you guys know me. I'm gonna find it out. He's even been associating himself and doing business deals with some of the most dangerous people in the world in order to get what he wants, which is only one thing: money. Wait until I show you this.
Now, I think there's a mob everywhere now, right? And some mobs are more especially vicious than other mobs. I would say, like, in America, certain mobs have definitely been gutted, right? Like, so, like, the Italian mob families, they still exist. They're probably, you know, as strong as they were before, but, like, they were really kind of taken out, starting with, I would say, Robert Kennedy when he was Attorney General for JFK. Maybe even before that, Hoover was really going after the mob. And it was kind of one of the reasons why, like, Hoover and a lot of the intelligence agencies really hated JFK was his father's connections to the Italian mobs. But, like, Italian mobs, they've been pretty much gutted. So other mobs step up into their place, and they all have them, and they're all over the fucking world. And, you know, but the Italian mob is especially brutal, you know, right up there with the likes of Yakuza or, you know, some of the Italian-based mobs in Italy. They get pretty brutal there as well. The Israelite mobs can be fucking brutal, and especially, like, nobody's ever proven it, but there's probably most definitely connections with the intelligence agency of Israel, Mossad.
So all these are two sections, or they get sold as two. These two as well are the owner's table. That's mine. That's high over there. Hey, tell her we'll be back in like a half hour, 45. Yep.
So like I was saying, you know, when Clav, we first saw him on the scene, He was preaching, that he was here to help young boys maximize their looks, lead a better life in order to pick up women. And he went on podcasts and he said crazy shit. He said he wanted to punch his face with a hammer like an asshole, make his limbs, his legs longer to become taller, pretending he was going to get all those surgeries, which he never did. He said all those things and he did all those things, not because he meant them, but he did it to get famous. And, credit to him, because you know why? It worked.
Yeah, it worked. And there's a lot of speculation on why it worked as well as it did. From what we know about the dude, he had his starts in the Groyper movement, right? Nick Fuentes, that whole deal. A young, confused kid, man. And it is a sad story. I can empathize with it. I've known a lot of kids like him. And there are a lot of, like, really frustrated young men out there that don't feel like they have a chance with getting women. And that's probably, I don't know. Maybe just a. I'm trying to think how I word this. An unfortunate consequence of the times they're growing up in, right? Like, when I was a kid, the most advanced thing you were gonna find, anywhere, like the most advanced thing, was like the rich kid, your rich friend would have a computer, right? Like your rich friend. When I 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, nobody had that shit, right? So the only thing you could really do was get out and meet people. And you learned how to do that, right? Just through the course of living life naturally. But that shit changed, and it has changed. And people that grew up in that era, we have a hard time understanding it, but it has changed. People don't do that anymore. Like it's a different fucking world. And a lot of dudes just don't really know how to interact with people, unless it's online, right? Especially young men, and they're frustrated, and these charlatans, a long line of them, have come out to and really use that to enrich themselves. And if it was like this sincere attempt to reach these frustrated young men and maybe teach them some life lessons, I would be behind it, right? Like, something needs to happen for these dudes. Like, society needs to take them seriously. Look at what we have now. But, the thing is, the people that are reaching them have very bad intentions, or very greedy intentions, and they're often very bad people. That's why they will get caught in a nightclub zig heiling to a Kanye West song talking about who.
Fast forward today, you can't go online anywhere without seeing this asshole's face plastered everywhere. I mean, look, if you deeply think about it, and I don't know how deeply you need to think about it, what is he famous for? Ask yourself that question. Being a drugged up kid willing to fuck up his entire life for fame and money? Well, in a recent stream, he disclosed exactly what his intentions were, and he didn't want people to see it, which is why you can't find it anymore.
But I'm wondering what your goal is.
All right, so real quick, this dude that he's talking to, I do believe, is Academics. And I don't know what's up with it. I believe he went cray-cray with the whole Drake fucking K-Dot beef. And I believe he went full right-wing as well, so I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that, but I do believe this is Academics, if anybody knows who that is.
Currently. At the end of the day, I wouldn't get on these streams and do this if it wasn't for money. The reason I do my kick stream every single day, and I go to clubs and I drug myself to the point where I'm able to actually interact in public, that shit is for money. It's like, I'm not passionate about the fact that I'm basically a drug addict to do this shit. Okay, I want to stop doing this as soon as possible. It's so obvious, and anyone who's got a brain will say the same thing. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I do it for money. You know what I mean? People will do this shit trying to be a messiah. It's ridiculous. Everyone is in.
God damn it! I have it fixed on the screen. I don't know why it's all jacked up. It's playing, right? No, it's playing, right? What am I freaking out about? All right, I don't know. I'm tripping. I'm high. Don't mind me.
This for money.
So now seeing, what his true intentions really are, the other night when we saw this kid, people carrying him, putting him in a car, taking him to the hospital, dialing 911 because he took too much shit, right?
No, it's not.
Nearly died. All of that was why? Because he doesn't have a personality without it. And he has to drug himself up in order to do all those live streams. Well, it turns out all of it is for money. And then him coming on, like I said earlier, telling all the people that he's here to help the kids. Well, that was for money too.
How?
Yeah, and that's and that's not even the worst of the exposing. So they had taken that stream down. He definitely doesn't want people to know that. He wants people to think that, I don't know, he stands for something. Everybody does, but you hear him there. Like, all he really cares about, like he has promoted taking crystal meth to his legion of followers. Like, this dude gets paid like, I don't know, something like $20,000 a day from Kick to stream on Kick, right? They're gonna talk about it, and all these young men are watching this dude telling them to take crystal meth, to take all these drugs to enhance their chances, to loosen their inhibitions, so women will want to sleep with them, and it's predatory behavior. And the kid's only 20 years old, right? Like, he's only 20 years old. So now it's going all to his head, and he's getting all of this money, and he's starting to have dealings with all of these really fucking shady people. You should probably be careful of who you're associating with once you're at a certain level. And you're in Miami Beach, Florida, right? Like, you should probably be aware of exactly who you're dealing with. I would think I would be, like, if my identity level was to raise for some reason, and I found myself in Miami Beach, Florida, I'm gonna be extra goddamn careful. Like, if I were on this dude's level. Like, I don't even want to go to Miami Beach. Like, that's how careful I'm gonna be. Like, fuck, you gotta be careful of motherfuckers, man.
How authentic are you, 1 to 10? Probably like a 1.
Yeah, no shit, Puff, right?
Yeah, I pretty much cap about everything on stream. So I'd say about a 1.
So I'm gonna rewind a little bit. So this is Clavicular. And he's responding to, like, somebody's asking him, like, how genuine are you when you're on stream?
A 1.
So I'm a 1.
Yeah, I pretty much cap about everything on stream. So I'd say about a 1.
And also, like, if you look, like, closely at him, I don't know how closely you can see it on the screen there. The dude is just wasted out of his fucking mind. Like, just wasted out of his mind. And I've been there, man. I was that young, white dude in America. My friends called me Mikey, right? Like, I would do anything. Like, just let me do anything. And man, let me tell you, it's a scary place to be in, right? Like, you don't know what you're putting into your body. Like, you think you do, but you don't. You think you can take it, but you can't. Right, like, and he's gonna experience that, and that's a scary place to be there. But that's being a dumbass and having to figure it out. What's not being a dumbass, what's being a very manipulative, evil person, is profiting off of the insecurities of young dudes, especially young white dudes, and then kind of bringing them down into this pipeline that he has already went, and that's the pipeline of the alt-right.
And now, the biggest one that he's doing for money that he doesn't want anybody to know. Remember how he became friends with Jack Epstein when he first started streaming, right? Well, he wasn't just friends with him. He learned from him how to pimp girls and start his own OnlyFans agency, and he doesn't want anybody to know about it. Well, on a live stream with Ed Matthews, which of course is deleted, this is the first time I saw Clav talking about it. Well, he didn't speak about it, Ed Matthews did, and Clav got pissed. I want you guys to notice.
Yeah, like, look really closely, right? So this dude right here, look at his eyes, like, fucking crazy. Like, he is on, I don't know, like, what would do that to his eyes? Because they're like pinpoints. They're wide, almost, I would say probably crystal meth. Yeah, it's probably crystal meth. Crystal meth or some really, really good cocaine. But, you know, so when he turns to the camera, like, look at his eyes. But look at Clavicular's reactions as he's speaking about OnlyFans models. Look at him. Like, he is going to very subtly through all of this. You see how he's looking at dude now, right? Very subtly through all of this, he is going to be kind of like, no, like, the fuck are you doing? Like, it's, if you're looking at his face, you'll see it plain as day.
The facial gestures that Clav is making when Ed Matthews is talking about one of his biggest secrets.
The moral dilemma you have sometimes, like the OnlyFans things, they start moving reckless on stream. However, we got some non-OnlyFans things right now. Clav's trying to recruit them, but I mean, bro, I've been there. When I was 19, I was doing OnlyFans management. And you know what? I just thought I'd only ever
looking
get
at the
things
camera
actually on it, because the things that don't do it, like,
it's like, nah, no, what the fuck, dude? Why are you talking about this?
This guy just don't. Clav's ruthless, mate. Clav will get your sister on OnlyFans, so watch out, boys.
So clearly, he's been trying to hide it, but you only could hide things for so long without people figuring it all out, right? And girls, maybe ones that aren't happy with him.
Yeah, like, dude was like clearly the whole time like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they got so fucking high they let the cat out the bag, right? Like, this is supposed to be secret. We're not talking about this. Although, like, and it's these dumbass dudes, like, what do you think is gonna happen if you're running a predatory manipulative OnlyFans agency? Like, you just saw what happened to your boy Jack, right? Like, it's not going well for him. It's not going well for him. He might be able to play it out in court, you know, but like, these kind of predatory practices, well, I mean, we do have Donald Trump in office now, and he is like just changing everything. Like, I should be doing this stream about, you know, his changes to domestic terrorist policy, because they're terrifying. But I got to get all the facts. I gotta get all the facts on it. But yeah, I don't know. I got off track with my sudden jolt of reality.
Started to come out and speak out.
In a revealing live
dude was
stream,
high as
content
fuck.
creator Livy Alex vocally criticized the contract proposal she received from Clavicular's management, shedding light on what she deemed predatory practices prevalent in the influencer economy. Livy Alex, known for her candid approach to streaming, shared the shocking details of the contract offered to her for working with Clavicular's OnlyFans agency, which purportedly included an 80-20 profit share that heavily favored the management side.
Clav's not on, so I'm here. Somebody on Clav's team offered me a contract for his OnlyFans agency. I'd rather literally myself, but that's fine. And I heard that the split is 80-20. Yeah, fuck off. Why? So he's like, oh, the method is you have to get on my stream and you have to suck my.
So, like, supposedly these are the women in Clavicular's OnlyFans agency and they're all like 80%, 70% deals. Which I don't know why anybody would ever sign that outside of, you know, because usually it's not even like, you know, nudity, at least with Jack Doherty. You know, I'm not sure about Clavicular here. I don't think it really says, but usually it's like not nudity. You know, they'll fly these girls out, they'll take pictures of them doing kind of lewd things in bikinis, and then fly them home or whatever. But they take, and then they'll have their robot little monkeys do their thing on the internets, and they'll make their money. And the girls only get 20%, 30% tops. It's very predatory, and it turns out it's very illegal.
And you're gonna make $300K plus on OnlyFans, girl.
And that's why, like, it's a secret. Like, this is secret. We don't talk about this because this is illegal, right? Like, bad shit can happen if we talk about this. But again, like, it's just this stupid mentality, especially when you're a young dude. I don't know how it is for women, right? But like, when you're just like this young dude full of just you're basically, you know, spurging fucking testosterone out of your fucking ears, you know. You don't really think about shit, right? But like, clearly, if you're gonna run a predatory scam, and yeah, like, at first they're gonna be like chill with it, but sooner or later, like, human greed is gonna kick in, and they're gonna want their fucking cut. And when they don't get their fucking cut, and you start treating them like shit, well, they're gonna start talking, and you're never gonna keep it secret. Like, people are gonna fucking find out. Will this be enough to end Clavicular? I don't know. But I would argue, like, probably the thing that's going to actually end this dude is it's becoming more and more talked about that he's an industry plant. So the theory running is that this guy somehow, I'm not going to go into it today, but somehow this guy's got like some kind of connections to Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel has planted this dude, and that's why 4 months ago everybody started hearing about Clavicular, right? I don't know. It's a theory. Like all conspiracy theories, who fucking knows? He did just pop up out of nowhere, and everybody was fucking talking about him. And that is the kind of like the blueprint that Andrew Tate set, right? So like Andrew Tate became famous because he had like this group. Right, it would be like he would make a video, and then he would have 1,000 people immediately repost that video, either responding into it or do this, promoting that video that Andrew Tate had just put out, right? And it was all pre-planned, right? And if you like, that's why like this whole social media thing. When I talk about I got to do this the hard way, right? Like I don't have any capital, I don't have anything to invest in this, so I just got to try to put out videos into the ether and hope people get eyes on it, right? To where like people like Andrew Tate, if you have capital, if you have money to throw at it, then you can hire teams to do that. You'll put out a video, and these teams of people are responding to that, reposting that, you know, and that is boosting your identity level on these social media platforms and boosting your video, and now everybody's seeing your shit, and you're getting pushed on all of this shit through all of these algorithms, this algorithm manipulation, right? And that's what Clavicular's probably been doing. That could be a very legitimate way how he just rose on his own. But did he have capital before that? No, he did not. He was a pimpled, like, awkward kid. As far as I know, his mom and dad didn't have any money. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. So, but I think just the conspiracy theory alone in the circles that he has tried to dominate in, just like Donald Trump is finding, is going to be his downfall more than any of this legal shit. Now, legally, I think he's probably gonna catch a quite an ass whooping, you know, for Jack Doherty did, and he will as well.
What type of scam of hell is that?
We can turn the cameras off for a sec.
Alright.
Oh no, my camera slipped. It slipped.
All right, so when I said earlier, like, Clavicular's known for being frame maxed by one of his buddies, this dude that had just shown, let's see, right here. Go back. So this dude that, you can't even really see it right now, but you're going to see it soon. You're going to see all of it. This dude right here, people often say that he, quote-unquote, frame mogs Clavicular because he's more attractive, he's more muscular by all the diametrics and metrics that they use to be chauvinistic fucking assholes, right? He frame mogs Clavicular. But like Clavicular would respond, well, I fame mog him, right? So it's all fucking weird alien language.
Oh no, my camera slipped. It slipped.
How do you even know everything about me? Are you a fan?
Well, I saw your manager's texting you, get on the stream more, do this, do that. So.
What are you talking about? Are you a stalker?
I'm not a stalker. I mean,
I'm
I
literally
work for somebody else.
Shut the up before I say everything that you don't want me to say. I literally signed with Clav.
Like, what the hell is this
Are
bitch
you
saying?
and a half? Shut the up. I'm sorry, you guys. I thought we were gonna shit that you don't want to say.
I'm sorry.
Who flew me out here, you dumbass? Shut the up. Okay. You think I bought my own ticket out here? I came here from LA. Who the flew me out?
I'm not a retard.
I didn't buy it.
Well, now, this is where the story gets really interesting. You guys know, if you follow him, he's been bragging on all over social media how he just bought a $5 million club. And everybody's sitting there like, how did this asshole afford a $5 million club?
All right, so here's the meat of the shit he's finding himself in. And I think he looks too young for this. Yeah, he's only 20 years old, right? This kid is only 20 fucking years old. And yeah, that's the new controversy. Is like, so he says he owns this club, Bakari, in Miami Beach, Florida. Right. I'll let John Bravo tell you, but it's like, you're 20. Yeah, you've been making a lot of money, but how are you making $5 million worth of money? Like, and not just like, $5 million. All right, so to buy a $5 million investment requires a lot more money than that, a lot more capital than that. So how are you doing this? And you're only 20 years old. Sure, you make $20,000 a day from Kick. And now we have, the cat's out of the bag on the OnlyFans agency. So you're clearly making money off of that. But how are you coming up with enough capital to buy this nightclub in Miami Beach?
He's been, streaming for 4 months. Yeah, he makes money on Kick. Yeah, he makes money on Stake. Well, now you guys know he makes money on OnlyFans, but still, how did he get a $5 million club, right? Well, I'm going to show you how. Because his friend, Energetic, was live streaming and in Clav's house. Clav walks in the door.
So there's the wig.
He says,
dude, where's the wig?
Shut the camera off. Because he didn't want people to see who he was meeting with. So this is Clav's friend Energetic, another asshole who got famous for doing nothing but being bald and getting his wig knocked off his head in public. Well, while he was live streaming, in walks Clav, waving his hand around like an asshole to cut the camera. And when you look behind him, you see this mysterious guy walking in the door with his Sharmuta wife behind him and his security guard.
All right, so that's the first time I heard the term. We might have heard it before, but so the term Sharmuta, I looked it up. I don't like that word. And he seems to brand it. It means slut. It's an Arabic term. It means rag. But it's slang for like slut, prostitute, whore. So I don't like the terminology here.
Now this is Hiwakneen, the guy who really owns the Baccara Club, and he came to have a secret meeting with Clav, but he's got a bit of a shady past. He's a convicted felon and rumored to be tied to the Israeli mob. I didn't even know they had mobs in Israel. What is that shit?
And this is Sean from Israel too.
Nice to meet you as well. Clav, how are you guys?
Hello, how are
What do you think? Place is looking good, right?
That's my dad.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you, sir. Clav,
An enforcer for an Israeli crime group has been sentenced to more than 10 years in federal prison for racketeering. Hayek Nin, a 35-year-old Israeli national who lives in Marina del Rey, asked for leniency Monday, but citing his extensive criminal history, U.S. District Judge Manuel Real gave Waknin 13 months in prison beyond the 9 years that the prosecutors were recommending. He had faced 46 counts of racketeering, extortion, conspiracy, and other charges stemming from an alleged scheme.
Thought I hit it, but I didn't. All right, so you don't want to knowingly go into business with known criminals, especially like if they're within organized crime, right? So, when I was 17 years old, I've talked about this before. We met this guy, Quentin, right? Quentin was what you would imagine if I asked you, think in your brain, right? A 33-year-old blonde, white North Carolina dude in the early 1990s, right? That's Quentin. That's Quentin. He's got his sleeves cut off, kind of a skinny dude with the big blonde mullet. Always wears a ball cap, right? And we met Quentin. And Quentin said he had connections. And he took us out to this pool hall in the middle of nowhere. And, for the longest time, we didn't really understand what was going on. We just knew Quentin, right? And we did business with Quentin. Because if we knew what was really going on back there, right, in that obscure-ass pool hall in the middle of fucking Davie County, North Carolina, we wouldn't have been doing business with Quentin. That's for goddamn sure. Because back there was the Mexican cartel, right? So, they had to come up with this scheme to get, young, impressionable dudes to do their bidding. This was, I'm 49 now, so let's say 30 years ago. Now it's like the young, impressionable dudes are just open-eyed, just walking in and shaking hands with the cartel, right? They don't need the Quentins anymore. And I find that very disturbing about where our society has come. Now, clavicular is clavicular, but I'm looking at this as kind of like the societal thing, right? That's kind of how I'm looking at this whole clavicular, like, groiper reinfestation of fascism, but a modern fascism. I hate it. I hate it when these conservatives gripe about like this doesn't look like 1939 Germany, blah blah blah. This isn't happening. That isn't happening. Man, it's gonna be different. It's going to be different. Just open your fucking eyes and be consistent to your principle for fucking once in your goddamn life. Because if you stood for any of the things you ever said you ever stood for, you'd be right there with us against all of this. And it's sad because they can't do that. I don't know. I started rambling on there. I think I'm going to smoke more weed as we're almost done with this video, and then I got to decide if we're going to watch something else.
To hide money embezzled from an Israeli bank by loaning it out in Miami and Los Angeles.
All the rumors are true. And officially say.
All right, I'll be.
I was a part of one of the biggest
I don't have to
real estate deals.
Worry about dinner tonight.
In Miami recently. Multifaceted. It includes hospitality, includes clubs, and a restaurant. So there's a lot of different entities involved, but I have a lot of different properties now in Miami Beach.
So Clav, saying he bought that club for $5 million. We know that load of bullshit. All these assholes say the same story. They get a Lamborghini. They show it off online, saying it's theirs. Meantime, they fucking rented it. So we know all this same song and dance, right? And High has owned that club, Bacara, for years. It's been around for a long time. So saying that, maybe Clav, was promised a percentage of the company. Maybe Clav gave some money in, but he's not telling the full story. But I want you guys to think about something. For High, right, the club owner, and his restaurants and his other businesses, he gets Clav in. What is he getting? He's getting promotion. He's getting Clav, bringing all his sharmutas over there, advertising it all on social media. It's actually a smart move by him. And then for Clav, he's not even 21 years old. He wants to go to a club. It's a pain in the ass for him to run around doing all this stupid shit in. Well, now he owns a club. He's going to make money on the club. And then also think about something else. He scouts all his sharmutas for the agency. Well, now he's got a perfect place to do it. But saying that, seeing the history, criminal history of who he's associated with, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with it. So I've spoken about this before. I've been up financially in life. I've been down a lot financially in life. But when I truly think about my life, right, the happiest times weren't when I had the most money. In fact, it's probably when I didn't have the most money, because I had the best people around me. I didn't have all these bloodsuckers trying to get shit from me, right? So Clav, living this whole life, being so obsessed with making all this money and bringing all these people around him, I wonder if he truly thinks that this is gonna be what makes him happy. So he's willing, and like he said, do anything for money. We already saw him overdose, right? And almost die. He got arrested. What else is going to happen in his future? Because he thinks this is the key to life, making money and doing anything for it. And I want to leave you off with something to think about. This piece of shit, right, is so selfish, so greedy. He's willing to do all this stuff, show all this shit online, lead this example, and not give a shit what kids may want to follow in his footsteps. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, and that's what I'm focused on, right? Is, man, like, the world that our children are growing up in. My daughter's 16 years old. This world that we have, given them. It's scary, right? I first really became aware of this back on the channel with the movie Cuties. I watched that because the Christians were all freaking out about that movie. I did a really deep dive on that movie. And what I took away from that movie wasn't, outraged that the girls were being sexualized, although I understand why people get outraged about that. But as a father, I took away from that movie, like, I am terrified of this world that I have brought this little girl into. Right. And that would be my thing about all of this is, if you have a young man in your life, whether family, you care about this young man, like, try to reach this young man if you can, because you don't know who he's being influenced by. And I'm not doing that as to suggest like we need to influence young people towards any ideology, but we definitely need to safeguard them from some. This has been something that I've watched since Gamergate, since I really first, became aware of YouTube, and, especially since I started doing YouTube. There is an infinite, it seems like an infinite number of avenues for young people to be reached. And there is no way as parents that we can just keep them secluded in a fucking box. And we need to be aware of this crazy, crazy world our children are have been brought into. So reach out to the young men in your life and try to try to understand them if you can. And if they're heading on a brink, man, try to bring them back. Because, like, monsters like this, like, just idiots like this, and the monsters funding them are I say, one of the biggest threats to America. But our country right now is more concerned about people with left-wing ideology, people with anti-Christian ideology. That needs to be talked about. The new domestic anti-terrorism measures have been released, and it's a whole bunch of fascism. Nobody's safe if you're not MAGA. And even if you're MAGA, are you truly safe? So we'll need to be talking about that in the days ahead. But I'm going to go and get my dinner. I am thinking, like, maybe I do have a game of Civ 6 to finish. I might do, like, a chill hangout stream for the rest of the night. I'm not sure. I might just watch some videos. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So until the next time, I'll see you guys soon. Oh, yeah, and definitely the earth isn't flat, bitches.